Greetings, YouTubers. It's me, Jason Great again, and welcome back to another reaction video. And as promised, here is my reaction to Decker Shado's review of the second Species movie, Species 2, released in 1998. And the story about an alien species came from another galaxy system. Well, it turns out there was another group of aliens, the same alien species, came down to Mars and kills the Martian species. And then in the sequel, they got infected. The astronauts. Well, two of them, except for one. But anyway, let's get to the reaction video and let's go back to the world of Species.
Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Decker Shado, the internet personality of the best.
Hello, Decker.
And I was trying to rip a 4K movie to review this week, but that is far more of a pain in the ass than it has any right to be. So how's about a review of Species 2 instead?
Yeah.
Released in 1998, 3 years after the original movie, Species 2 follows up that very conclusive and concise ending by pretty much ignoring most of the established plot points and throwing together a sci-fi monster flick in a far more generic way. So you remember all that stuff in the first movie about the transmission sent to SETI about how to make an alien-human hybrid thingamajig, and that's how you got the alien on Earth in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, don't. Now it's just some goo they found on Mars.
What does it look like in Prometheus?
Which infects the
and
astronauts.
X-Files.
Yeah, you used to have to grow these things with a 1% success rate and wait months for them to mature, but now the alien species can just infect you like the thing. But they still want to reproduce,
Yeah,
and old partners have to come together in the hopes of saving the human race from the threat of horny extraterrestrials once again.
Round 2.
It's like no matter what you do, aliens just want to fuck. So, let's take a look at Species 2 and see these fucking aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Our story opens on a manned mission to Mars. The Martian lander holds Patrick Ross, played by Justin Lazard.
Yeah, the main guy who will be infected and our main antagonist.
Not for one nation. Not for one people. Not for one creed. But for all humankind.
Nice sentiment, but you only brought the American flag. Don't pretend like this ain't a flex. Their mission is to collect soil samples. Mysterious, smoky soil samples. The other crew members, Dennis Gamble, played by Muketi Williamson, and Ann Sampas, played by Miriam Kira, wait up in the space shuttle for his return, as despite all the time it took them to get there, evidently they only remembered to bring one spacesuit.
Oh my god.
Well,
It was incredible.
Yeah, I'd rate it about a 2 out of 5. Nice red
he wants
rocks,
to be
but
on
beyond
Mars
that, what
for the
even is
first
there?
time, that's it.
No bother, they spent months coming out here. I think the radio chat between Mars and Houston is instantaneous when
Yeah, pretty
even
much.
light takes over 3 minutes to travel that distance. But space lag aside, they're getting ready to just turn around and head back home.
Okay, how does that
one
even
of the
work?
specimen jars
How
is not
does it
frozen, but instead
melted that so
exploding
accelerate the
unnoticed,
thing?
which is fortunate for the goo inside, because otherwise, how's this supposed to happen?
Gee, I wonder what's gonna happen.
2, 1.
The goo strikes, causing them to...
That kind of reminds me of Venom.
They were digging soil
So-
samples like a couple of inches deep, dry as hell. It was dusty, yes, but now it's frozen and then hot alien goo. Geez, we're only 10 minutes in. I'm already wondering, what in the fuck were they thinking?
Did that say kind of reminds you of Venom? You know, with Riot attacking the astronauts and only some of the symbiotes, including our main one, Venom. Does that any ring a bell to you?
7 minutes later, the crew regains consciousness. Normally, this would be a horrifying problem where they no longer are in the right place to get back home with the fuel they have, or at the very least, an extremely concerning case of lost time, but they're just like, seems fine, and brush it off, no questions asked. Not the worst idea this movie's got, as they remade the monster from the last one, now named Eve, still played by Natasha Henstridge.
Eve was recreated from a frozen lab embryo. She's a genetic duplicate of the original Syl.
Yeah, that kind of boggles my head. If they created a duplicate of cell named Eve, where did they get the DNA from? Did they got it from some of Syl's DNA from the train? Or they actually got her DNA from her thumb from the first movie? These are answers I just want to ask.
The idea being that, hey, we need to be able to protect ourselves from aliens. So let's make a human-alien hybrid so as to learn better how to protect ourselves from aliens whose main method of trying to kill us is by convincing us to make human-alien hybrids. This program is being led by Laura Baker, still played by Mark Helgenberger. She shows off this handy-dandy toxic gas they've been working on, which puts her little guinea pig through torturous pain, with massive blisters appearing all over her body.
But she can regenerate quicker like Logan/Wolverine.
What happened, Dr. Baker?
The alien species has Wolverine regeneration powers.
Yeah, dude.
They established this in the first movie, dude. The dude in question is Colonel Carter Burgess Jr., played by George DeZunza. He's angry they haven't found a surefire way to kill the aliens. But considering that flies in the face of their goal of continuing research and experiments, he's pretty alone in that sentiment. Besides, this isn't Syl, this is Eve. She's not a horny alien bent on destroying the human race, but a misunderstood laboratory experiment who's being tortured day in and day out and given plenty of reasons to destroy the human race.
And also, to pretty much prevent her from going sex crazy, she's in the lab with a bunch of female security officers and female scientists, so that's good.
Now, well, back on with our heroes from space, any plans they might have to fuck humanity to extinction are shot down for the time being.
No sexual activity for at least
Really?
10 days. And that means all of you.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
Well,
We
pretty
don't
much
know
like
if you're
that.
carrying any kind of horrifying space disease, so we gotta be sure to cover all the bases. So
Yeah, big
just
time.
go out, socialize,
Yeah.
mingle, but keep it in your pants.
And panties, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
They enforce the no-nookie policy with the honor system,
Pretty
meaning
much.
that after Senator Ross, played by James Cromwell, finishes his speech about the heroism of his son, the first man on Mars, where could he be when they
Oh,
called him up
gee,
to the
I don't
podium?
know. Basically making out with a woman that he is not supposed to.
Geez, you know, maybe next time put a shock collar around that thing.
Is that? Yeah, that's
mean,
pretty much
he's into that
against.
sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much against that rule. But of course, his alien side is about to do it.
Ah, well, no one suspects anything anyway, allowing him to head up to give his own speech about what it's like to be on Mars, and how completely human he still is, and not a threat to the planet whatsoever.
I thought to myself how easy it would be to destroy all that God has created.
Well, shit, man, even without the spooky music, how in the hell do you expect the crowd to take that little music? Very well, it seems.
Yeah, pretty much.
Something, nuclear war bad speech, good. Now it's on to the fucking.
Yeah,
My sister decided to join us.
and he's like, "Oh, really? Do you share everything?"
We share everything.
Yeah, except a familial resemblance.
Sounds like he's getting. Yeah, he's getting a threesome. Seriously. Commander Shepard has sex with many women. His main girl, Lyra, Miranda, anyone else. Just saying.
And they get down to fucking. That R-rated movie style where it's really not that bad, but I still gotta edit around it like crazy for these reviews. Until we get to the actual horrifying stuff.
Oh,
at
yeah,
least, where
pretty much
Patrick
like that.
erupts into alien tentacles, and the one lady's belly erupts in alien baby.
Also, the way that the belly opens, it kind of reminds me of how the eggs open up in the Alien films. Pretty into detail.
So, what to do with this mess?
Well, put them in the barn.
Just leave them in the barn, let them fend for themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
Supposedly, he still has most of his humanity at this point, so I guess he's just a really shitty father.
Eh.
After all, he's still cognizant enough to go up to his father and say, hey, I think there might be something wrong with me, but unfortunately he never gets to the whole killing women with his super sperm part, as Daddy doesn't want to hear it. He's
Really?
gotta have to toughen up and deal with his own shit sooner or later. After all, Daddy intends to turn him into the President of the United States.
That will be a big no-no. Red flag no-no. You know what happens if he made his son the President of the United States? He will literally have sex with every woman on the planet. That will be a big no-no. That will be like that he will basically kill all human life on Earth. That will be a big no-no. Comment down if you agree on that one, that he will do that if they go with the whole he become the President of the United States.
But there are those little tests they were doing to make sure everything's fine, and Dr. Marinsky, played by Baxter Harris, sees that it is very much not the case. Oh my God. For his cells contain weird little alien cells that consume the human cells before taking over. You know, kind of like in The Thing.
Yeah.
And not like in Species.
No, not like in
Also, kind of like The Thing,
Species.
the blood makes an escape attempt. Breaking free of the vial, it scurries off into a corner of the room. Jesus Christ, man, you saw that thing doing the thing like The Thing, and your first idea is to play patty cake with it? What the hell do you think's gonna happen?
Oh, I know. This? Yeah, it's also kind of revealing that it's Patrick's hand killing him. Oh, and I did like that sign says, use tissues.
You're gonna get disemboweled by the magical wall hand.
Yeah, pretty much.
Clearly the most obvious outcome.
Yeah.
But with his death, the government knows there's another alien on the loose. Now, they don't bother looking at his findings or the obvious broken vial of Patrick's blood. That would be smart. Instead, they know it's an alien, but not Eve, and therefore, they need to get more actors from the first movie to come back for another go.
Yeah,
This brings
bring
us
back,
to Press,
yeah,
played
bring
by
back,
Michael Madsen.
Press
Help
Lennox.
me out of the search party, okay?
But he doesn't want anything to do with it.
No, no,
How
no.
will they convince him to help?
$1 million. Tax-free.
Well, that was
did they just
easy.
film themselves actually hiring this guy for the movie? This is another opportunity for them to mention that Eve has been specifically kept away from men, because the Colonel just waltzes in there unopposed with Press, and it's only Laura who yells at them because of the hard and fast rule to keep penises as far away from Eve as possible.
Yeah, like I mentioned, Eve is in her little cell with female security officers and guards to keep an eye on her. And there's also another thing I really wish they could. Why couldn't they just have Eve join the team? I understand that Patrick is out there, but think about this. If they have Eve on the team with Dr. Cromwell, that would make more interesting. Like, if they have like a micro bomb in her neck, like if she joins the team and she gets the micro bomb in her neck, they say to her, if you deviate from us, you die. If you ever go find a male to have sex, you will die. And be like in the Suicide Squad movies. And I would agree on both Rambo Rap for Life and Jurassic Godzilla fan on that idea about having Eve and Dr. Cromwell couldn't be part of the team. And also, they can bring back Dan with them. No, he could be like tracking where Patrick is. But anyway, back to the review.
They figure it'll suppress her
video.
reproductive drive, yet still let her watch TV with guys all over the screen,
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
consistency is hard. Either way, Orinsky was calling a former colleague when he was killed, so Dr. Baker and Press head down to the Garberville Psychiatric Institute to meet him. Dr. Herman Cromwell, played by Peter Boyle. He just mentions that he was working on an old Mars meteorite, found evidence of ancient life, and warned against the mission to Mars because of it. Thus, he was institutionalized, and they said fuck it and went anyway.
Whatever species destroyed Mars, those poor astronauts brought down to Earth.
And they say the word in a movie a lot. Species.
And title
That
drop.
right there, that is the name of the movie. It always comes off sounding more than a little awkward. Our heroes have to hurry now, as it's the end of the no-sex quarantine. No, they never brought Patrick back for more blood. As far as I can tell, after the doctor was killed by an alien being, they never bothered to finish the tests.
Nope.
They're still far too slow, as everyone is getting down and dirty tonight.
Oh yeah, and
which,
she gets
results in her
infected.
alien baby bursting through her belly, murdering her lover, and causing chaos in record time.
Also, that kind of reminds me of another thing. If she was affected too, why couldn't this movie be about the two infected astronauts going around having sex with male and female humans? That could have been like... And that could be more interesting than the final thing in the final version.
And much like many a horror movie franchise, where the first one had one monster that was nigh indestructible, and the sequel has many, suddenly one fucking bullet seems to be enough to take it down.
Decker, you clearly see him firing 2 bullets. Not one. He fired 2 bullets at the thing. So, you clearly show us that he fired 2 bullets. I think you have a little continuity problem. No, I think you didn't pay attention to that scene.
That and the toxic gas pump.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the egg because of that angle, because the belly kind of like having like the floor.
Well, they're dead, but
out.
so is the alien. Now to rush to Dennis Gamble. Yeah, they do
Yeah,
have
Dennis.
more than enough soldiers to just track down every member of the Mars mission at the same time, but yeah, that's too hard to edit. They do get Gamble before he manages to get his rocks off, which can only
Well, that was
mean...
quick for him.
Computer says normal. There is no sign of infection.
Yeah, he's not infected.
He's perfectly fine. Which they would have been able to figure out if they had just tested his blood a week and a half ago like they were supposed to, but... And of course, no one could even figure out where Patrick was, so he just killed another woman.
Who is actually his fiancée.
And there's yet another kid kicking around.
Yeah, and what is Patrick's response to seeing his fiancée get killed and having a have alien hybrid kid? He grabs a double-barrel shotgun, loads one up, and prepares to commit suicide.
Well, he calmed down and got very nicely dressed awful damn fast. Gotta make a good last impression, as evidently Gamble did know where he was, but only shows up in time to see this happen.
Yeah, getting his brain splattered around.
He still understands what he's doing and doesn't really want to have any part of it. Yet, for some reason, when it comes to kids, just stick him in the corner. Fuck it. Also, we've still got over 40 minutes of the movie left, so with the powers of CGI, Patrick's head regrows.
Oh yeah, and there's another thing. When he committed suicide,
11 years earlier,
when he commits suicide, he eliminates his human side, so the alien side can take full control of his body.
So horrifying, Gamble runs off and reports back to the rest of the team. He also is starting to question the ridiculousness of the plot.
If they knew there were aliens up there, why the hell they send us? NSCG got warned, but they chose to ignore it.
Or, in the words of the critical drinker, they were like,
No, it'll be fine.
Also, Gamble is now one of the team. They don't ask him to join up, and he doesn't seem to volunteer or anything. He just keeps showing up in the scenes now as comic relief.
Yeah, he goes around having sex with healthy females, just like Cell was in the first movie, to hunt down male healthy.
They're also really slow when it comes to getting leads on Patrick's whereabouts, allowing him to fuck, marry, kill his way all through town without the middleman, and get quite the collection of offspring.
Yeah, and I counted how many children he got. He has 20 kids. I'm not kidding, 20.
Okay, he's just gonna dress them all in matching rags?
Yeah, pretty
Real
much.
Nice, Patrick. You're putting that much thought into it. Maybe take your small army down to Kids R Us or something. You're not exactly poor.
Pretty much.
Well, the plot's going nowhere, so all of a sudden, Eve is psychic.
Half her alien genes are dormant. Tracking Patrick is out of her league.
Dormant means asleep.
And they know she's psychic and have ways to make her more psychic, but never mind any of that for now. What about that no men in the lab policy? Not important anymore. Besides, they have a new plan to make Eve a super psychic.
Yeah,
with
pretty
the
much.
power of lasers. This allows Press and Gamble to track down Patrick in a grocery store. They needed the psychic link, as when Patrick just grabs a woman to drag her off for procreation.
Yeah, that would be
nobody
bad.
does a goddamn thing about it. However, he too has psychic powers, and when he realizes there's a hot half-alien
Oh
babe just
boy.
waiting
Well,
for
that
mating,
backfired.
he quickly loses interest in the human option and walks right out into the open, very quickly finding himself in Press's crosshairs.
Oh yeah.
You gotta go in for tests, bruh.
Okay. Sure, I don't mind going into the lab.
Oh,
Okay.
gee, it's almost like he wants to go there and is perfectly fine with taking the Uber to Earth's hottest and horniest alien babe.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, I'm guessing when they capture Patrick, I'm guessing they're gonna put him in the cell with male security guards and male scientists that keep an eye on him. Now, that will pretty much suppress his sex drive too.
I mean, they could test his blood at literally any clinic along the way, but no, evidently
Oopsies.
the astronaut blood testing lab is also the same lab that houses Eve. So Patrick breaks free from custody, rushing into the lab in the hopes of the ultimate screw. However, Dr. Baker refuses to open the cell. Also, freaky tongue action.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus Christ, the
Toxic gas.
Kudos to the actors for trying
Yeah,
to
pretty
make
much.
it look effective, because the prop doesn't. I bet they were told they would fix it in post.
Yeah.
Also,
Guess they don't
I
have the
could
budget for
sworn there was
that.
some kind of rule against penises getting too close to Eve, but yeah, it doesn't matter
Well,
now. She's not interested
technically
in
it's
Gamble.
revealed that
This
he
is
has,
actually
like, a
plot relevant in a way
disease.
that does take lore established in the first movie into account.
Yeah, that
You
still
don't
is
have sickle cell
canon.
anemia, which is why you're able to go
The
to
whole
Mars.
diseases
But you're a
thing.
carrier.
Well, I guess that's why he, didn't get infected up on the ship.
Holy shit! An explanation for things that actually makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Forgotten what that feels like.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just leads to Baker wondering if they can use human diseases to beat the aliens.
Yeah.
Hell, it worked on the Martians in War of the Worlds. In the meantime, Patrick's father finds him at the old house. He's been briefed on the whole alien parasite infection.
Oh,
genetic
now you're
modification
catching up,
thing,
dude.
whatever the hell it is. And he's here to let his son know that it's okay. He's here for him, and he won't let anyone hurt him.
Well, there is one itty bitty problem. He still has the alien side of him, and the alien side kind of looked like, I'll say, like, no, he is mine. You're not gonna take him away from me. Yeah, pretty much like
To
that.
advance the plot, so fucking get rid of that character.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Grandpa's not around to witness the awkward time known as puberty, with extra tentacles.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Either way, Baker has whipped up darts loaded with Sam Porter Gamble's blood as an anti-alien weapon, but they don't know where their alien is hiding. Not to worry, for Eve is now too horny to contain herself.
Well, that's not good. Oh yeah, and also, panty shot.
And jumps through the window, breaking free of containment, much like how in the first movie Syl broke free of containment by jumping through the window. Did these motherfuckers not think to maybe reinforce the windows?
No, not even iron gates.
Well, they did put an electric tether to a toxic bomb embedded into her brain, but break this one button and suddenly that backup plan is useless as well. This means Eve escapes, and they unload a few hundred rounds into her sexy alien ass. However, this is the part of the movie where bullets don't work on the aliens, and she gets right the fuck back up and continues to escape. Her reproductive instinct is fully engaged, and she leads the anti-alien strike team right to Patrick's nest.
How convenient.
I'm gonna go up and see if I can find Adam and Eve.